Yo, yo, yo. This is Lucy James Podcast. I'm your host, Chosen. And on today's episode, we got my boy Louie. But before we get started, these questions might be repetitive. They might feel like common sense type of questions. But just know that there's always someone out there that might need to hear it and be explained by someone else to make sense of it all. So, with that being said, I got my boy Louie. He's a upcoming YouTube phenom and just super talented. We'll let him introduce himself.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Louie, also known as Louie Letras, Letras Worldwide.
Just to give the folks and all that a little bit of your upbringing and all that, could you let them know where you're from and just like the little bit of basics about your upbringing?
Yeah, so I'm from the San Gabriel Valley, the SGV. That's where I grew up. That's where I did all my shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool area. It's very graph related. I think it came down from LA. And since we're like 30 minutes out from LA, it was able to like stem down here and have a big scene as well. Not too big, but a good enough scene, to be captured by it. I'm one of five. I got siblings. I got an older brother. I have some sisters, and then I was the last one to pop out.
So growing up in the SGV and all that, as a kid, you would see like graph all around you.
Yeah, I would see Graph a lot, man. I'll see Graph a lot.
Was there anybody like from what you can remember that really stood out to you as like a little kid and kind of like inspired you on maybe kind of getting into the game?
Yeah, so I know for sure as inspiration, I had my older brother. I had my older cousin as inspiration. They really put me on game. My older brother handed me like my first booklet and was just like either he told me either tag on this or write like some rhymes on this.
Hmm.
And I did both, but I gravitated more towards like the drawing aspect of everything. And that was really like my first time giving it a shot, but it had always been with me. I was young. I can't even remember how young I was just because I was that young.
Was it like in elementary school?
It was elementary for sure. It was like first, second, third grade, like
Oh,
around
okay.
that time.
And you say your older brother and all that. Was there like a reason for him? Like, hey, you either gonna write on this or write rhymes. Was there like an incident or something that like kind of like made it like put a spark in him to be like, hey, like this is what you're gonna do, type of thing, or at least guide you on the journey?
I think he just wanted to implement that seed of like the creativity. I'm sure something was going on in his world, like at his age. I know we had just moved from Glendale, California to the SGV. So he was around the age of maybe like 17, 18, 19, or like around that age. So
Hmm.
I'm sure what he got over there, like he kind of brought it over here and he wanted to like give me that push of like, maybe this is what's going on right now.
Yeah. Were you always like more on the creative side when it came to either like drawing or just building anything as like a little kid?
Yeah, yeah, I for sure was always drawing, whether it was like little cars or little. I want to say I drew like cars more than anything, and then like a little stick figure or something.
Do you remember like the first like really good drawing that you ever did and kind of like you got that self like how would I say, like self motivation to be like, damn, like I could actually, draw.
The first good drawing, I don't think I remember. I remember maybe being in like third grade and drawing like a car and it had like the flames coming out the back, you know?
Oh,
Now
okay,
I
some
remember
hot
like,
rod
damn, this
shit.
just tight. Yeah, you know, I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
damn, this just tight.
Nah, yeah, I feel that. Well, what's like your favorite type of car?
The car that gets me from point A to point B, bro.
Oh
You
yeah,
know?
whatever it is, huh?
Whatever it is, dog.
Yeah, I could feel that for sure, bro. Okay, so you're saying your older brother and your cousin, right? That kind of influenced you a little bit.
Yeah, for sure, most definitely.
And what about your cousin?
So my cousin, I was given like that book from my older brother, right? And that was like my first step like into the door. That was my first time like, okay, okay. I already knew my brother was like doing graph because I would go into his room and like all you would see was like posters, you know,
Yeah.
of like his work. So I kind of already knew what he meant in a sense. And he was the one that gave me that push. And when it came to my cousin was the one that helped shape my style. You know, he's the one that actually took the time to be like, yo, this is a piece, you know, or like this is a throwy, this is a tag. And so he had that influence on me and he would take the time to really put me on game, you know?
Yeah. Do you remember some of their first words into like the introduction of getting into graph? Like, did they lay down like the fundamentals, like some like ground rules type of thing, or was that more of like as you were going, you were kind of learning?
Yeah, I think that was more of like as I was going. I'm sure they may have mentioned something in the time, but I was just like
Yeah.
too young to remember.
Okay. And was your cousin and your older brother like around the same age, or like what was your cousin's age?
The way I would put it, it was like my brother was the oldest, my cousin was maybe like around the middle age of me and my older brother, and then I was like the youngest, you know? So it was
Okay.
maybe like five 5 year gap in each of us, maybe around there, 5, 7, something like that. 5 to 7 years.
So like what was your first name that you started off with, if you can remember?
Yeah, for sure. I for sure remember that, bro. I remember I was coming home from school another day, and I just walked into the door of my crib, and my brother and my cousin were right there, and they were like, "Hey, we got a name for you," you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Oh, oh, for real?" And
All hyped and shit.
yeah, my cousin was
Really?
like, "Yeah, bro." I was
For
like,
real?
"Okay." Nah, but my cousin and my brother, they blessed me with the name Pharaoh, bro.
Was there like a meaning for it? The reason why, like they're like, oh, it's gonna be Pharaoh.
I actually don't know, bro. The way it seemed to me, it was probably like they probably just had a name they thought was dope, and they were just
Uh-huh.
like, "Yo,
Yeah.
give it to Louie."
Okay. So when you heard Pharaoh, like what was the first like thought of it? Like, oh damn, that shit is sick, or nah, like you know?
Nah, bro. The first time I heard it, I was like, okay. I was getting blessed with something from um some people I admired,
Yeah.
like as I was the youngest. So I was like, okay, okay. Like I'm willing to rock with it. I'm willing
Mm.
to give it a shot. I'm willing to learn. I also think I was very open to it because I was like, okay, now I have something to work with, like a name to work with, you know?
Mm-hmm. So before that, were you just doing random letters or just random words?
Yeah, before that, I was just doing random letters. I was just doing random words for sure.
Okay.
Random names I would see like my cousin or my brother doing, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Um, If you don't mind, what did your older brother and cousin write?
So my brother at the time, he went by Vandal, Vandl, and then my cousin was Fatal, Fatel.
Okay. And how long were they in the game for? Or are they still in the game?
My older brother, he'll dabble in it. Maybe like if we chop it up and I have like a paper or something, he'll do a little some. My cousin is also doing his own thing
Mm-hmm.
with with the gift. So my cousin definitely still dabbles in it. They're both now, pops. So
Oh,
I'm sure
okay.
that has like a lot to do with maybe them slowing down a bit. But
Was there anything like when you first, okay, so you got your name. Now that you have your name, was there like the first type of graffiti like supply that you got that like really like got you going? Whether it be like a marker or like a can,
I want to say I started off with some good old Sharpies,
just
good old
regular
Sharpies and a
Sharpies.
and a piece of paper. I didn't have nothing. And
Okay.
and besides that notebook that like my brother had given me,
Yeah.
and that was all I had.
Did you start off with like bubble type of letters or more blocky style?
I think I've mentioned this to a couple people, couple of the fellas, but I started trying to do pieces,
Okay.
just because
Okay.
that's what I would see. Like I just started like trying to do pieces. So I guess I would say it started off more complex, blocky letters.
Okay, that kind of explains a little bit of another question I was gonna ask and all that. But okay, so you started off trying to do like some more complex type of styles and shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay. Um, okay, so after the Sharpies and all that, what did you like kind of upgrade to?
After the Sharpies is probably when I would go either into like my brother's stash of some markers or my cousin. I would either go to his house or he would come to my house and we would share the tools.
Okay. What was like your like favorite thing? Because I know like when you get into graph and whether it be any type of journey, what I'm saying, any type of path that you choose in life, when you first get into something, you're real passionate about it. You want to learn everything. And what was one like tool that really like stood out to you the most?
It's still gonna be the Sharpie, bro. Like
Yeah,
the
Sharpie.
fact that there were Sharpies and that I was being introduced to like so many colors of a Sharpie.
Yeah,
Like I was young and I wanted to be like, fuck, like I want to use a Sharpie. I
yeah.
want to start coloring already
Even
and
for
all
like
that good
hitting the
stuff.
streets.
Hitting the streets didn't come until later.
Okay,
So
okay. When did you really start getting into like the streets and all that part?
the streets definitely came a little later, bro, like a decade later, since I was so young when I started.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a little peewee just working on the paper with the markers. Once in a while, my brother or my cousin would bring home a book from their homies and they would let me like hit it, like a black book. And then that's when I got into maybe middle school, high school, kicking it with the homies, just at the time, just catching a spot here and there.
Uh-huh.
And it probably wasn't until like high school and then after high school where I really started going out and hitting some street spots, going out tagging, hitting the yard.
Oh, okay. So when you say like when you're with your homies and all that, like where did you started going around a lot of kids who was doing graph too as well?
Yeah, I would say, like I said, growing up in the SUV, it's also very like
Common.
common. It's super common. So you have those youngsters, that certain group, which I gravitated towards, where most of them tagged. So
Mm-hmm.
it was our common trait that we like to do, you know? So it was
Yeah.
when either if I was rolling with them or I had like another homie that he didn't write, but his homies wrote. So when I would go kick it with him, like I would kick it with his homies and then we would go right, you know, like around the town,
Mm-hmm.
around the city, go like catch some spots, some dumpster spots,
Oh,
couple
okay.
tags, you know?
Yeah. Who was like your first like real solid homie that you would go out and either go bombing or catching tags and shit with?
That's my boy, bro, the infamous Nodser.
Oh, Natser. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Shout out Natser, man.
Shout out Nodser.
It's a real humble dude right there for sure, man.
That was my crimey.
Yeah.
For sure, for sure.
Okay, so you guys just started going out and busting missions and shit.
Yeah, for sure. I remember just I don't know what sparked my interest or like ignited me to just go alone. Like I started going alone
Mm-hmm.
and then I started going with my boy Notzer. And once we clicked up and I noticed that like my boy is down, is when we really started going out like together on a consistent basis.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's pretty much when, you know,
Yeah.
we got the ball rolling.
Okay. So like, who was the first one to like say anything about like, oh, you trying to go bust a mission, like, or who was the first one to be like, hey, like you right and shit, like, oh what, like let's go do a mission and shit.
Yeah, so we had I know you've also interviewed the homies, so they might know this story. The
Hmm.
people might know this story. So we met in middle school and then we just kept it black book sessions like I mentioned earlier too up until we got to like high school. And then once like I was driving, once I was in the whoopty, you know, we would go just go do things and I would see a spot and I would be like, damn, that looks like a nice spot. So I remember telling the homie like, let's go hit it, bro.
Uh-huh.
And it was like it was one of our first times just in broad daylight. You know, we didn't really like know know the whole rundown of how burnt the spot was gonna be, but
Hmm.
we just went in the daylight and like hit a freeway spot just to like get it out the way, you know?
Yeah. Oh, so you guys are hitting like broad day shit to start off with.
Not purposely, but just yeah, not purposely, but to like kind of get the ball rolling, you know?
Uh-huh. Okay, so with that being said, like what's like a good maybe funny, crazy type of story of, one of your missions going out?
Mm, let's see, dog.
Like a real good one that like, if anyone that were to ask you, be like, oh yeah, like this right here is a story to tell.
I want to say I think it's the one that the homie had mentioned before too, you know, because
Mhm.
that was just such a big that one had a big impact on like on all of us just because we were on a roll. We were like we weren't really prone to getting into shit. Like we were pretty swift when we would hit our missions, you know?
Uh-huh.
And there's a few times where like that bubble got shattered because shit would happen, you know? Like
Yeah.
shit happened. So of course there's one where me and the homie, a few of the other homies are like on the freeway and from this is my point of view, like me and Nods, we were right next to each other. He was doing his piece, his little burner. I'm over here doing my burner. I was in such a good flow, you know, like I had already built up a flow to where I knew the whole ins and out of that piece I was doing. And sure enough, like I guess someone burnt out the spot on the freeway, and then a few seconds later, you just see like a bright light, like just shining on it, like looking like a UFO, like you're about to get abducted, you know,
Yeah,
just
like what the hell?
yeah, just straight what? And I look, and sure enough, it's like the cop flashing the light on us, and we just started booking it the other way,
Uh-huh.
and the cop is just telling us like, don't run, don't run. And the way that we had gotten in is the way I went out. I'm not sure what happened. It was such a like a adrenaline moment,
Yeah.
but
A fight or flight type of thing. Fuck.
yeah, I ran as fast as I could. I jumped through like some little freeway thing that they were working on, and I was able to jump over to another side.
Uh-huh.
And my boy ended up having to deal with the 5-0. And then I was with my homie, so two of us, all four of us got split into two. I was
Yeah.
with the homie. I had to call one of my sisters up, and I was like, "Come pick me up, please." Like
Please
I
don't
we
tell
jump.
mom.
Nah, not even that, bro. Mom's was in Mexico at the time,
Oh
bro. Shout
shit.
out, mom.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, shout out her.
And yeah, bro, like me and the homie, we jumped a little school fence. I freaking ripped my jeans.
Yeah.
One thing about like my paint missions that I always disliked is like I would always mess up my fresh jeans, my denim.
Uh-huh.
So sure enough, like jumping over that fence, I come my brand new jeans, and I was just like, "Oh, my jeans, the homies. How am I gonna get
Yeah.
home?
Yeah, nah, I feel it.
Going going through a whole bunch of commotion.
Yeah. Damn. Okay. So, talking about moms and like your sister, did your parents ever catch you like doing graph?
Yeah. So growing up, I only had my mom's, bro. Like
Oh, okay.
my pops fled the scene when I was a youngster, so
Oh, okay.
he wasn't really involved at all. So it was just like my mom's and my fam holding it down right here. So my mom was already kind of used to the commotions because of my older brother.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
And I always like I just knew I didn't want to be a commotion like or cause commotion.
Mm-hmm.
So I was always pretty like low key with my stuff. She definitely would like find my paint. One time she threw like a whole paint away, like a whole bag of paint, like a backpack filled with paint. And I was just
Damn.
like, oh, my heart. So she kind of already knew what's up. I was always drawing, bro. I was always working on letters.
Mm-hmm.
She did, of course, like I mean, moms is gonna be moms, like don't be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Like what the hell you doing? That's not right. Como que estás pintando las paredes? In
Mm-hmm.
in translation, like, what do you mean you're painting on the walls?
Yeah. Okay. So she was already kind of like a little used to it and all. Did she ever like tell you, oh, you don't want to be like your older brother in the sense, you know?
Nah, bro.
Nah.
I I already knew I didn't want to be like my older brother.
Yeah. Okay.
I already knew like shit. Nah, like that. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be doing that. I want to be doing this, which was like drawing,
Yeah.
getting in the zone, being in the zone.
Okay. So, how about like your sisters, your other sisters and stuff like that? So, did they ever like were are they like creative or would like to draw too?
I have one sister that is pretty creative.
Mm-hmm.
Like she enjoys drawing, painting.
Yeah.
And then my other sisters are just I mean, they're pretty fond of it because when they were in high school, like their homies probably fucking tagged and shit. They're not new to it.
Yeah. Okay.
Still sometimes like if I was drawing, they'll come through, hit like a piece of paper, do some
Yeah.
freaking handwriting and shit.
Okay. So
Look at this.
the one that's creative, you said the one that likes to paint and all that. Did she ever like get into graph or nah? She just did her own thing.
Graph, nah, she did her own thing. I don't
Okay.
think like any of my
Not
sisters
that you know of.
were were kind of into it, you know? Yeah, not that I know of.
Okay.
I think it trickled down more into the guys, you know?
Yeah. Which is more obviously is more common, like you don't if you have 10 graph writers, maybe one might be a girl.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, okay. So okay, so that whole incident happened and all that. That was like one of your very first times going out, you had said?
Nah, that wasn't one of my first time going now. That was already I was already like in the flow. Me and the homie Knots were like in the flow already, you know?
Yeah. Was there ever a time that you ever wanted to quit and not really partake in that anymore?
And Graph,
Yeah.
mm, yeah, at some point I realized like I gotta put the paint missions up to the side to like focus on myself, you know?
Yeah. Was it like a reason? Like, was you just fucking up in general? Like, not really being motivated to, just elevate yourself overall, or like
Yo,
what
it
was the
was
reason?
definitely more of like a elevation thing. It was a like fresh out of high school, you're kind of some people go straight into college, some people
Mm-hmm.
go straight into a job. And then there's those people, those youngsters that are just like, what the hell am I gonna do, you know? So in the
Yeah.
meantime, I'm gonna just kick it with the homies. I'm gonna smoke. I'm gonna just do whatever. I'm gonna not do shit. So that was pretty much the time where I was being active. And
Mm-hmm.
then a couple years down the line is where I'm like, all right, what the hell am I gonna do with my life? You know?
Yeah.
Like, what's my purpose? How can I how can I do better? How can I be better?
Yeah.
And that was just my mindset. That's just something that naturally came into into my into my world, you know?
Yeah. What was there like when you graduated high school? Was there any like plans that you really wanted to do, or it was just strictly just like, damn, like I'm gonna just let shit, I'm gonna just go with the flow.
No plans, bro.
None.
No type of plans. Straight go with the flow. No type of plans. I was in middle school and high school, I would just show up, you know, because I
Yeah.
had to. It's not even really like, oh, I'm learning or anything like that, you know? It's
Hmm.
just more like show up. So once graduation came, there was nothing to show up to, and it was kind of just like shit. I'm getting the ball rolling, I guess, you know, like
Yeah.
let's see what happens.
So with that being said and all that, has there ever like been a person that came into your life that kind of like wanted you to stray away from like all the graph and drawing and doing like your own little thing, you know?
Nah, not at all, man. Not at all.
Like not even no females or anything.
Nah,
Like your
I've always
passion.
prioritized my passion, like the craft itself,
Okay.
whether it be hitting a book, whether it be painting or working on something bigger than me, like that's my priority, you know?
Yeah. What like sparked the interest of putting your work online, making content?
So what sparked the interest was just wanting to continue doing what I was doing, but also putting myself to the test of like, can I make a dime off of this, you know?
Uh
And that was the interest. And from there is kind of where I had a will like kind of work on myself, like I mentioned, put the paint missions to the side and kind of like lay down a plan, lay down some steps, some critical thinking and like how am I gonna get this shit done? How am I gonna find my people,
Yeah.
people who are like-minded, laid back, like to draw, like to paint,
Hmm.
aren't off extra, like,
Yeah.
and that's where it all like started.
Okay, but like, was there like any type of like spark in that? Besides like, oh, can I make some money off of it, or how could I monetize my work? Was there anyone that you've came across, maybe seen, and kind of like put that into fruition? You know?
Anybody that I seen, I would say I was more inspired by people doing their own thing, mate, that wasn't even graffiti related.
Oh, just more
And it
like in the
was,
more like of the fact of
yeah, like they're doing it, like why can't I do it, If
uh
they're making a dime doing that,
yeah,
like why
whether it
can't
be
I
whether it be
make a dime?
cooking or making something, or whether what I'm saying, just if
Yeah,
they could do it, then I could for sure do it.
yeah.
Okay.
So that was the soul like spark right there,
Okay.
which is like got me thinking, which led into like the critical thinking,
Hmm.
which led into like me like reading books, bro, to like figure all this out.
Okay. So what was like for those wanting to maybe start their own thing, try to get their stuff monetized, and what's like a few basic things to get yourself going.
A few basic things to get yourself going would be cut off all the distractions and s- focus on laying out that plan, on
Hmm.
laying out that vision and really take the time to like curate it and think think about your future as well,
Yeah.
Like think about what you want to do as a person and mix that in there as well.
Okay. So when you started posting your work, like how did you first start off? Did you start posting it like strictly onto YouTube, or how was how was that process?
Now I started on TikTok. I started
Okay,
on
TikTok.
TikTok. I was hitting the dance moves. No, I'm just playing.
I
No, I
was just gonna
started.
say that. Hey man,
No, I
let me
started on
find out you and
TikTok,
Knox
bro.
are in the bag.
I was just posting time lapses, bro, of either me painting in real life or me hitting the book. And that was the intro of me sitting down and doing something with my time, whether it be when I came home from work or I want to say maybe more of that, bro. Like I would come home from work and I knew I had something to do, which was
Yeah.
like work on a video so that I could post onto like TikTok, bro, like a little short.
Hmm.
And from there, I kind of I kind of gave up on TikTok. I can't think of in the moment why, but I just know, oh, I know why, dude. It was so much like of your attention going into something. Like I
Mm.
mentioned, you need to cut off the distractions, And I had
Yeah.
to cut off TikTok because I was getting distracted, bro. I was like, I would spend the whole day just swiping up,
Yeah. Well,
Fucking
that's why they call
shit.
it TikTok, because you just TikToking your life away, just scrolling.
Yeah, so I kind of was just like, I'm cool on it.
Hmm.
And then
Was
that's
Did you
go
get
off, bro.
any? Did you get any type of recognition off of the videos you were posting on TikTok?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
What?
I had TikTok for like 6, 7 months. I probably got up to like 600 followers,
Mm-hmm.
from zero, from me
Okay.
not even telling anybody.
Yeah.
I've never really told anybody like, oh, this is what I'm doing, like check this out, whoop-de whoop-de woo. It's just more like I put myself to a mission. So
Yeah.
I'm starting at zero and let me see with what I produce or what I make, like what stems out of it. So I,
Yeah.
I I was able to get some feedback and be like, okay, there's some traction here.
From like just like the random viewers that were on TikTok.
Yeah, from the random love I would get,
Oh, okay.
to the random hate I would get
Oh yeah, of
too,
course. When there's love, there's always comes hate.
Yeah, so I was able to like realize, okay, there's there's a niche here, some might say, like there's an audience. You feel me?
Yeah. Do you feel like a lot of the audience gravitated more of the live painting or more towards the black book work
I
from
would say more
from
of the
from
black book
TikTok?
work. Yeah, more of the black book work. I maybe uploaded like 5 little TikTok videos of me painting,
Uh-huh.
and the rest were like books, like black books.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I got a little bit more feedback off of the books. I could be wrong though. I would, I actually have no way to check.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I got feedback, which is important.
When did you decide to go onto YouTube?
So I want to say maybe I had both at the same time, and I was probably posting onto TikTok, and I realized that I had to shut it down just to eliminate all the distractions,
Mm-hmm.
which is when I started like cooking up the YouTube channel, which was like getting my name, Letras Worldwide, getting getting the profile photo, the logo,
Mm-hmm.
which was just luckily for me, I just threw a tag and
Yeah,
just
make
because
it.
I already know how to tag. So I just did a tag through the name and uploaded it, created its own little channel for it, and from there it was idle, bro. It was idle for like a few months. I probably shut down TikTok and mm, I was just drawing, getting footage, trying to still like brainstorm, like, okay, okay. Until one point, I realized I could brainstorm all I want. I could write everything down like I want.
Yeah.
But what matters is me actually like uploading something. And I reached a point to where I was just on my little iPhone, bro, and I was just like, fuck, I'm gonna just make a video right now. I
Mm-hmm.
got home from work, it was like 7 p.m., just laying in bed, bro. My first video, my first YouTube video, I'm just like, and then I did this, and then I did that.
Yeah.
And that was the first video I published, bro, and I sent it off, I let it do its thing, and I think that video might be at like 9,000, maybe like 10,000 views.
Once you started seeing that people was really fucking with it, did like it really spark you to start really like putting out your content?
Yeah, so it didn't automatically gain traction. I want
Uh-huh.
to say maybe like a month in, I seen like, oh shit, it has 100 views. Or
Mm-hmm.
like, oh shit, it has this many views. And once I noticed that, I was like, all right, I'm gonna do the same thing. Like I'm gonna move on to the next. Which luckily I had already captured footage
Okay.
So all I had to do was like get the video and then do what I did. And then that was like those were my baby steps, bro. And then that's when I get into the third video and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna switch it up, bro. And I'm gonna talk on it. And that's when the emo Louie voice came out, you know?
Yeah, nah, I feel it. Yeah.
Shout out to emo Louie, bro.
Shout out to the emos.
And that's when I was like, okay, it was so new to me, bro, that I was just like, I've never talked. I'm s- I was so in like a I'm trying to be cool, you know? Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to be like, and then I'm gonna do this to for that, you know? Which is like just where I was at the moment. And
Yeah.
I published that video, dog,
Nah, I feel
and
like
I get feedback to this day where it's like, bro, why do you sound like that?
even I still kind of have that problem to this day, not with being emo or anything, but like just like damn, like is am I coming out fluent? Am I, sounding smooth when I'm talking, shaky, whatever it is, because it's my first, like really like my first time, like this year of really, starting my own thing and trying to do something different that I haven't really been comfortable with from the
Yeah,
beginning, So I definitely feel you where you're like, oh, like it just sounded a whole lot different from the beginning because obviously you're gonna get better within time.
yeah,
So
definitely.
okay, so um when did you really start seeing your stuff blow up? Like was it you said like after the first month, or is that just when you started gaining some traction?
Yeah, I want to say like I started gaining some traction within the month, within the
Hmm.
2 months. I realized that I was gaining traction. I was fed up with kind of not doing anything still. So I went back to like my pen and paper to brainstorm, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. This is a good idea.
Hmm.
Ideas are important, you know?
Yeah.
So everything that where I'm at now, bro, is just an idea, you know? Like
Yeah.
we're here now. So I went back to the pen and paper and I was just like, do this. And then I started getting my little flow where I realized I'm gonna put a track because I love hip hop. I'm gonna put a little background track, a little hip hop background track. I'm gonna make it into like a production, you
Hmm.
know. It's really gonna keep me occupied. I'm gonna write a script to try to be real thorough on what I did here. Also, um, taking it back, bro, to the question you asked of like what sparked your interest to start, and I told you that I seen people doing something, and I was like, if they could do it, why can't I do it?
Hmm.
Within that, there was also I love graph, and I want to help people who aren't there yet, you know,
Yeah.
because that's what was valuable to me when I was coming up. So
Hmm.
that's what led me to like I'm gonna write a script to hopefully teach someone
Yeah.
and try to lead them the right way, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because from what I've seen and from what I've heard, a lot of people try to gatekeep, just shit that they were blessed enough to have gotten from somebody else.
For sure. Art is
So
life, bro.
it
Life is
literally,
art.
bro, literally, it's everywhere. Whether it be music, whether it just be anything and everything that you could think of has art a part of it.
100%.
With that being said, like I know you were saying that you didn't really tell anybody uh around you that you were doing all the online stuff and making content. When did you start telling people um around you that you were doing that?
Probably when I probably had some good traction, bro. I probably like hit like 1,000 subs, bro, you know?
Hmm.
And I was like, like
Oh,
fuck.
okay, damn.
You feel me?
Yeah,
I was
okay.
like,
So it
shit,
was
okay,
oh, okay.
like I just hit 1,000, bro. Like fuck. And I really like I told a few people because I was more on the tip like, dog, if I could do it, you could do it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And there's only a handful of people that I've told about like my where I'm
Yeah.
at in life.
Is there a reason for that, or is just because you don't want like certain distractions?
I would say there's a little bit of both,
Or maybe
but I
they
would
didn't
say
really believe in you. You felt like they didn't believe in you, and you know, or no.
nah, I think for sure first and foremost it was to prove to myself, that it could be done.
Mm-hmm.
And also not only to show myself, but then I have the backup of it could be done to show others like it could be done
Mm-hmm.
because I did it, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
And then yeah, I want to say the third thing would be like I don't really tell anybody because I just mind my business, bro, And I'm not the type to be like the only people I've told is like people that I know are gonna either want to be a part of it as well,
Uh huh.
Like for the homie Nods, bro. I could have never told the homie Nods or something,
Mm-hmm.
and you guys would not know who the infamous Nodser is.
Oh yeah. Damn.
Shouts
That's
out
it.
to the big cuzzo Tony too. I know he's like a very creative
That's my cousin.
individual. That's my cousin, and I know like these are our people.
Yeah. So did you ever tell your older brother and your cousin that you were doing all this?
I want to say I told them maybe once I was a little bit more established, like I want to say once I had maybe like 2,000 subs
Uh huh.
and I had like the community going. Shout out to everybody in the community too
Oh
right
yeah.
now.
Shout out to them,
If you're
man.
listening to this,
We
I
should be
love you.
we should be all of
You're a
them.
real one.
Yeah. If you was a real one, if you a real individual part of the community, then you definitely tapping into this one for sure. Because
Yeah, for sure, for
this
sure.
is giving insight that I've never even heard of. Also coming from Louie.
I told like my older brother, um, and then I told my cousin, and I've told my sisters because I was like I needed their help when it came to certain things. I was
Hmm.
like, hey, you have a printer, like I'm
Yeah.
working on this shit type of thing. And but yeah, I mean that's just where I'm at, bro. I don't expect no applause. I don't expect, like a pat on the back or anything.
Uh huh.
I just expect to get everything done like that I have to do.
Yeah. Did they have anything like to say about it, or were they just more like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, for sure, dog. Like, of course, you get some good feedback from your
Hmm.
fam.
Yeah.
They're a little like I want to say they don't really care because everybody is always focused on their life.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, like I said right now, bro, like I don't really expect like a pat on the back or because they don't uh, they don't really understand how much I don't want to say they don't understand, but they might not understand like how much graph and doing this means to me.
Hmm.
So it's not fair for me to be like, you know,
Yeah.
look at this and give me a pat on the back.
Yeah, which is understandable, because a lot of people, they might have some good things going on, but they had to fight the trials and errors in the background and shit that a lot of people might not see or be able to fathom, because they might only see the good things. Um,
Yeah.
but no, yeah, for sure, bro. It's like more of a of yourself type of thing. You know, it's more of an accomplishment for yourself, and just to be able to say, you know, you made some positive stuff out of something that a majority of people think is negative.
Yeah, very true, Doug. And it's not just for myself, but it's also for like for the like-minded individuals, you know?
Hmm.
And that's important aspect with like everything that I've done is like I've always said like I don't want it to be about me, like I want it to be about everybody else, which is why like writers of next I, is a mindset, you know? Like
Hmm.
you're up next, bro. Don't forget.
Like, how did that whole idea get started?
That's just an idea that I had, bro, that is just like pretty much what I had just mentioned, dog. Like I don't want this shit to be about me, dog. You know,
Hmm.
like I want I want to inspire, bro. You know, like I want to support people. I want people to understand like it's all in your head, bro. Like you can accomplish anything, you know? And with our like-minded individuals, with our people, it's all about graph and like graffiti is like our main language. So with
Hmm.
graffiti, bro, like make something happen, you know?
Yeah,
Like if you write, take that mindset, bro, and realize like you're a writer up next, bro, up in this new era, you know?
yeah. Do have you ever got any like negative feedback of the fact of, like, you know, some people might say, "Oh, this is more of an underground thing," you know, like a secret society type of thing. Why would you be trying to promote it, you know, online? You ever got that type of feedback or no?
I've never had that type of feedback, bro.
No, because you know, like, I feel like when people start making content and all that, having to deal with like graph and stuff, I feel like there'd be a lot of people that kind of look down on that, because now they start feeling like you're one of these street artists, or these dudes who get paid to do their work on people's companies or whatever, you know.
Yeah,
Because, you know,
for
there
sure.
are,
And I could see that.
yeah, because, you know, there's a lot of the times, you know, there's a majority majority of the time there's a lot of closed-minded people when it comes to certain things. So um
It goes back to the gatekeeping, bro, and I feel like the reason you don't see a lot of um content or ideas such as this one
hmm.
is because people's egos get in the way, you know?
Yeah, oh hell yeah.
And which is why it goes back to like when I brought up my third video, um,
The emo.
like yeah, the emo, bro. That was like me trying to be that was me trying to be cool, bro, you know, because I wasn't used to it, bro.
Hmm.
Like it was me trying to be cool. My ego was like, what's up, you know, like type of thing. And I feel like that's why you don't really see a lot of like graph related content because graffiti is so ego based
Oh yeah.
that they want to gate either they want to gatekeep, either their ego doesn't let them try something new, you know, like
Hmm.
either they think they're gonna be judged or especially coming out of like LA and like certain areas around here, like you gotta be tough or oh being tough, bro. For me, bro, fuck all that shit, bro. I
Hmm.
gotta I gotta make something happen, you know, something positive.
Yeah.
Like that's what really matters in my eyes.
Oh
I could
yeah,
be
for sure,
wrong, you
bro.
know?
Positive things last longer than anything that's negative, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
So um those people who are usually negative and all, you know, they don't really last that long, or they might just burn themselves out, whatever the case is, you know. And nah, yeah, it's definitely ego based, and just like a lot of people, especially I feel like I could be wrong, but a lot of the older cats in the game look down more on the newcomers coming up. You know what I'm saying? Just because they didn't have the options that we have, like whether it comes to different types of paint or different types of caps, they say we have it easier than they do.
Hmm.
So they just want to look down up on that too.
Which is true, bro, but which is still why, like, it's like you're a writer up next, up in this new generation, bro.
Hmm.
There's nothing you could do about it, dog, besides do what the hell you want to do?
Yeah. Nah, hell yeah. So so I want to bring it back to the very beginning, bro, when you were saying that your older brother was saying you either gonna write on this or write music, right? That's what you said.
Yeah.
So how where does music come along in like in your journey in life?
Music, music's always been there, bro. I've always been like a hip hop head. I've always been like underground music, and that's that's why I put music when I produce a video, or like on my live sessions, because music has also been there while I'm doing a Black Book session or while I'm working on something.
Mm-hmm.
And I never really wrote anything or like freestyled or anything like that up until maybe like after high school as well. And I
Yeah.
realized like music is music is powerful, bro, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest. I'm not sure if I mentioned, but like I would have these freestyle sessions with the homie Mavic, and throughout that time of like when I wasn't doing anything after high school, we'll just be smoking. I'll be in the car, we'll be freestyling. And I mentioned it to the homie Agony that I had like these ideas in my head that were like in the back of my head, and like through freestyling I was able to come up with things or put pieces to the puzzle together of like what I wanted to do. And also even through music and freestyling I was able to come up with like meanings for the Writers Up Next community,
Oh, okay.
and meanings for what I stand for.
Yeah. So you feel like music being a part of your life like also contributed to all the creativity that you've done
Yeah, I would say it for sure has.
for me and stuff like that. Like I feel like music, yeah, like especially at a certain frequency, that it could really bring out that creativity like flow that really gets you in I wouldn't want to say like a godlike state to bring certain ideas to fruition, but that shit does have that type of effect.
Yeah, it definitely does. I see what you mean. Like, I know you don't want to say like a godlike state, but I totally agree with you. Um, there was even times like where I would record the freestyles and I would play them back, bro, just to like reprogram my mind, just
Mm-hmm.
to keep me on my same mission, like just bars, the bars that I'm spitting, because those are the bars that matter.
Yeah.
What you're saying matters
Mm-hmm.
above everything else. So always keep that in mind.
Hell yeah. So you said you would go freestyle, shout out Mobic and shit. Um, you could do us a freestyle right now.
Bro, dude.
Acapella, folks. You do
Hey, yo, check it.
it. uh,
Nah, bro. If you guys, if anybody really wants some tunes, I'm still I'm still considering making music, just
man,
because
hey,
it's also something creative.
yeah, bro. I feel like you should, especially if you also have that passion for the music too.
Take into consideration with music what you're feeding yourself with music too.
Uh huh.
Like be cautious. Be cautious because like I said, I used it to to train myself to reprogram like myself, and it might be used for other things out in the world, you know?
Speaking about stories and maybe funny ones, crazy ones and all that. What's the story I hear about you have to stay away from twisted teas?
Nah, bro, that's not even a story. That's just factual,
It's just
homie.
real facts.
I'm a lightweight, bro. I don't like to drink, dog, at all. But if I have if I have something, I've had like a twisted tea or something, and like I just
Yeah.
be getting all buzzed, bro.
Hey, if y'all pull up
Be
on my boy,
like,
do not bring the twisted
be
teas,
like, hey,
man.
they call me Hubie though.
For real. How do you stay so consistent and with just bringing out content? Like what like helps you really stay um just consistent overall?
Yeah, and I would say it's showing up, bro. Like showing up for the community,
Mm-hmm.
showing up for myself, putting in those reps, you know, trying new things, really listening to you guys, like what do you guys want to see,
Mm-hmm.
And it's not easy, bro. It's pretty hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty much like another job, a job that I love, dog.
Oh yeah.
Like
So
I
hey, that's
really
more
do.
of a career then, you know what I'm saying? If it's something
Yeah.
that you love to do, something that you're passionate about, then I wouldn't even consider it a job?
Hey, I like that, bro. I'm glad you. That's true, dog. It is more of a career, and that's like people are able to make their careers. Certain people, bro, people who don't abide to like society's rules,
Uh-huh.
like they create their careers, bro, which is like what I'm doing. I'm creating my career, dog.
Hell yeah. Have you ever been a part of a crew?
Yeah, I was in a crew, bro. I was in a crew with my boy Knots, and it was just something that I didn't. I didn't gravitate towards naturally, bro, like organically, like what
Mm-hmm.
what people stood for, or like what people's morals were. And it kind of led me to just like drop it, bro, and realize that what I want to do with my craft is so much more than like what the route I was going down, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
So so that pretty much it pushed me more towards considering writers up next, not or it pushed me more to consider writers up next, WUNC, as a community, bro.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It made me realize that the C that other people use for crew, it made me realize like, nah, that C, bro, that C is gonna be a community, dog, because I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna do something positive with the community, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the lane I'm gonna take. That's the route I'm gonna take.
Yeah, exactly. It's like how I would say would be what is a little village to an empire? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, with the community, it's honestly so dope, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody up in the community right now is just like I'm really proud of it because someone will come in and they'll be selling their work, and it'll sell out like that, bro,
Hell yeah, bro.
And that's what a community is about, bro,
Yeah.
like supporting each other, having each other's back, not indulging in beef, or like,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, we're better than that, bro.
Hell
Point
yeah.
blank.
Yeah, I just think like the community is so dope, bro, because like you were saying, like everybody shows love, you know what I'm saying, to whoever is in the community? What's like your favorite paint to use?
My favorite paint would be, you know what, probably to use I'll
Mm-hmm.
use everything. I was really fond to the 94s though when I was like really painting a lot,
Uh-huh.
just because that smell, you know?
Oh yeah, like a
But when
sweet
it comes to
smell.
paint, like everything's gonna provide something different. So you can have like the high pressure, the low pressure, the rustos, which is like extra pressure, you know?
Yeah.
But I'll probably prefer to use a medium pressure, which will at the moment, shout out to that Funefi,
Mm-hmm.
the hardcore, bro. The homie put me onto the hardcore, and it's something I've been rocking with,
Hell yeah, hell
like
yeah.
that hardcore paint. The
Is
94 paint though, it smells like flowers, homie.
hell yeah. I feel like yeah, it smells like sweet. I don't know, something about it. Favorite kind of marker you like to use when you're hitting the black books?
Marker, bro. When I'm hitting the book, like I mentioned in the beginning, bro, like Sharpies was what I started off with, and
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in Section 8, bro, so
Okay.
we didn't really have a bunch of shit on us, dog, we
Yeah.
weren't we didn't have the luxury of going to buy Prismas or something, like, or some top end marker. So I pretty much, to this day, what I have is what I'm grateful for, whether it be a fucking Ross marker, whether it be a Blick Studio marker, whether it be a Prismacolor, whether it be in a Hoo, whether it be anything to get the job done, is
Mm-hmm.
is is gonna be my favorite. You know what though? Shout out to Molotov.
Molotov.
That's all I'm gonna say.
I know some people are gonna be hating right now.
Yup.
Have you ever experienced like a creative block?
I don't think I have, bro. I've experienced bullshit creatings, dog,
Uh-huh.
like where I don't like what I'm producing.
Mm-hmm. But that
Would that
never
be considered a creative block or?
um I feel like everybody might have their own definition of a creative block, but for me it's just mainly being motivated to, you know what I'm saying, put your pen, your marker, whatever it is, to use. You feel me? Like you're just not really motivated to do anything. That's how
Okay,
I
I,
would
I don't
consider
think
it.
I've experienced that in maybe a while. Maybe when I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
when you're a youngster, you got other shit, hanging out with your homies,
Mm-hmm.
fucking you put the marker away or something.
Yeah.
But as of recently, I love drawing, bro. I love creating. That's why my sessions will go on for 10 hours,
Them live
or
streams, man. Hey,
6, yeah.
catch
Like
my
I just
boy on
love
the
it, bro.
weekends, man, on his YouTube channel for real. No matter what weekend it is, he gonna be on there. You know what I'm saying? Producing some masterpieces. That's all I'm gonna say. Y'all could go check it out for yourselves.
I
But
appreciate you, bro.
has like smoking or drinking ever played a part of your life that like kind of helped you be in your creative flow?
Yeah, for sure, bro. I used to chief it a lot. I used to smoke and dabble in the book, bro. Just get inspired by also like music I was listening to, like
Hmm.
that you enter that frequency where you're just in that flow state,
Hmm.
and and that's how it would influence me. Drinking, I've never been a drinker, so I
Okay.
would say chiefing was more of like my choice. At the moment though, I haven't chiefed it. I've been like super super busy, so I got
Hmm.
to the point where like, damn, I don't even have time to spark up a joint or something.
And what was like your favorite strain of you know what I'm saying, of tree?
That Blue Dream, bro.
Blue Dream?
That Blue Dream. I know like a lot of people really fuck with indica, bro, but I was a big sativa head dog.
Okay, so you want to be more active and shit when you smoked, because
Hell
that's
yeah.
that's sativa, right? More like
Yep.
an upper type of thing.
Yeah, it can't be a couch potato, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, no disrespect, no,
Yeah, no
y'all
disrespect to
do what
them.
y'all love. But on my end, I had to be like boom, 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 boom.
Hmm. Okay. And I know, a lot of people have their opinions on this. But do you feel like graph gods exist?
Bro, this dude. Graph gods might exist, bro. Word to gourd.
No, no, no. Hey, I
I'll
want I
entertain the
want your
idea, bro.
opinion, folks. I want your perspective.
That's my perspective as well, dog. Like it could be a possibility, bro. I know at the end of the day, there's there's one God, you know?
Uh-huh.
But there could also be other ones, you never know. The only thing that comes into mind too is that I think even in the scripture it says like that like to not worship other gods, you know? So there could be a other graph there could be a graph God, bro. If you want to worship him, that's up to you, you know?
Uh-huh.
More power to you. Just that's my point of view. Yeah, whatever makes you happy, if it helps you at the moment, you know?
Hmm. Okay. So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I see myself helping others. I see myself having a beautiful team. I see myself retiring the family, retiring the team. I see myself with some good individuals, making moves, making history, following God's plan. And you know,
Okay.
that's where I see myself, bro.
Any kids?
I got a bunch of kids, bro. Look at everybody. Got some kids up in the community, dog. Go do your homework.
Hey, I was gonna mention a few
Hey, you
names,
listening
but
to this right now? Hey, finish your homework.
hey, I was gonna say a few names, but hey, I ain't even gonna do it. Where do you feel like you're more like you're most creative? Like in your little studio you got, or outside? Where do you feel like?
I would say probably in the studio, bro. I'm in the lab, bro, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And the lab is where I'm cooking up heat, brainstorming, getting work done, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely say right here in my lab, in my layer.
Any advice you would like to give writers who are just, maybe just barely starting, or uh might be having that creative block and want to get motivated?
As far as the creative block, I would say just keep going. That's always gonna come. That's life.
Uh-huh.
Anyone barely starting, don't do, don't start for other people, start for yourself. Realize that working on letters or getting in the zone is a part of life and is able to help you. It's able to bring peace for the moment. It's able to get you into a flow state. So don't start for other people. Don't finish for other people, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And realize that if you want to get good, it's not going to come overnight. You're going to have to put years into it. You're going to have to study your own letters. You're going to have to realize your mistakes. But overall, just make sure you have fun with it.
Okay. I want to do like a new type of segment. Do you have any favorite like famous artist?
Favorite famous artist? I don't know, man. That's actually a good question. I think I like overall just people's work that are in the community.
Oh, okay, okay. More of like, okay, so more of like um how could I say it? More of like people that you actually know, you know? Like
Yeah, because that
it relates to you a lot more.
yeah, and that's also like what I see the most.
Oh,
Like
okay.
up within the community is like I'll be able to see their work more, you know?
Mhm.
Like I see their work more often than probably any other artist.
Uh-huh. So like you don't do you like when I'm saying like famous artists and all that, like as in you know, Pablo Picasso or you know what I'm saying, Vincent Van Gogh, you know, do you have like any
Yeah,
favorites?
those are all some dope ass artists, bro. Shit.
Okay. Okay,
So
so because this new segment, bro, is I want to kind of give like a quote that they might have said and you know, give your perspective on the quote.
okay, okay.
Okay, so
So let's do
well
you choose, bro.
okay, so I have a few, you know what I'm saying? One is by Vincent Van Gogh. The quote says, "Art is to console those who are broken by life."
Hmm.
So how would you kind of interpret that?
That stems because life is tough, dog. Like life is not easy.
Hmm.
So when it comes to art, like I mentioned earlier, you do it for yourself, you know, because you're able to enter a flow state when you're creating that nothing else matters.
Uh-huh.
And what matters is what you're working on, what you're creating, and the process that is getting done.
Here's another one by him. Great things are done by a series of small things brought together.
So those are, I feel like that would be maybe more of like the compound effect. You do small things, you put in like little reps that later down the line turn into a bigger picture, like a bigger rep, you know?
Uh-huh.
Like a bigger, something bigger and something that has been
Okay, for like
established, established, you know?
okay. Okay. For me, like how I would kind of interpret that, it'd be more towards the community, you know, the Writers Up Next community, where
Mm,
you know what I'm saying, there's a series of small things, but being able to put them all together made something great, you know?
okay, okay, yeah. That's a good example, bro.
Yeah, so I like when I saw that, I'm like, oh yeah, like that's a good ass one, you know? There's another one by Pablo Picasso that says there are painters who transform the sun into a yellow spot, but there are those who, thanks to their art and um, intelligence, transforms a yellow spot into the sun.
Damn, that's a deep ass quote, bro.
What do you? How do you feel? Do you need me to reread it again?
Yeah, read that one again, bro.
Okay, yeah, because it's kind of like it's like some poetry shit. You feel me? So it's like you really gotta like dissect this shit. But okay, so it's from Pablo Picasso, and it quotes, "There are painters who transform the sun into a yellow spot, but there are those who, thanks to their art and intelligence, turn a yellow spot into the sun."
Hmm,
You need me to go first,
hmm.
or you
Yeah,
got?
bro.
Okay,
Nah,
so
bro. I see what is going on, like with the quote. It's
uh
just it's fucking deep, bro.
yeah, okay,
So
so
you know you can't just like I can't just off the top be like, yo, better, better. I gotta like shit, dog.
okay, so from what I'm getting from this quote, bro, is that it's saying that you know there could be people, that could turn, is the obvious. They could make this, oh, well, I'm gonna make this into like I might put a sun there, you know what I'm saying? Cuz
Hmm.
it's only right. But then there are those, from their intelligence and their maybe their struggles and their trials and errors where they might be doing a piece, something happens where it's like kind of like a mess up, but to them is something that they could create into something else. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, is saying it could transform a yellow spot into the sun. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So using their trials and errors, and kind of like how you do with with not using pencil. You feel me? Because I've told you this before. Like, oh damn, like you don't really use pencils. Like you just go straight marker.
Yeah.
That's kind of like in the sense, like, okay, yeah, you're using straight marker. So if you do mess up, you from your intelligence and all the things you've been through could turn that into, you know what I'm saying, something else, right? Rather than
Okay.
be a
Okay.
mess up.
Yeah. Okay. I see.
Yeah. So I mean,
Read it one more time, bro.
okay, I'm gonna read it one more time because it's a deep one. You feel me?
Yeah, for sure. For
Okay.
sure.
There are painters who transform the sun into a yellow spot, but there are those, thanks to their art and intelligence, transform a yellow spot into the sun.
Okay. So the first part is that there are painters that transform. Bro, this one's too deep, bro. This one's that. I need a whole hour to dissect that shit, bro. Straight up.
Yeah, I feel like, you know what I'm saying. This is like a new little segment I want to add to the podcast because I really want, you know what I'm saying, the people to
To
maybe
dissect it, to
to
break it down, bro.
yeah, exactly, and to really get who I might be interviewing, you know what I'm saying, to see how they kind of perceive life, and like to give the audience a perspective that they might not really know too much about the whoever I'm interviewing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I
If that
think
makes
pretty
sense.
much in lame I don't even know how to say it, but in the simplest terms, that quote to me, what it's saying is there are painters who will transform a yellow dot or the sun into a yellow dot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they'll pretty much maybe look at something and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna just do this real quick," you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna just do this real quick, put a sun and it's a yellow dot. Opposed to the other person that thanks to art and intelligence, they'll what was it again? They'll what?
They'll transform a yellow spot into the sun.
So I think that would mean they'll transform a yellow dot into the sun. So I feel like they might go more into detail
Mm-hmm.
opposed to just, oh, I'm gonna just do a little, you know?
Yeah.
And they might give more into that one thing,
Okay, okay.
which is which would then create the sun, which would be something so bright and so like something shining, you know?
Yeah. That right there, you know what I'm saying, is a new little segment, I wanna start getting into. Because I feel like, it just gives the audience a whole nother aspect to listen out for. Maybe also if they want to comment or, kind of give their perspective on these certain quotes, uh, make them feel like they're also really connected with what's going on. But with that being said, bro, is there any last comments or anything you want to say?
Nah, bro, I just want to thank you, dog, for your time, bro, you know, and thank you for having me on the Lucid Gem podcast, bro, the sickest podcast on earth, dog. So
Hell yeah.
I want to say shout out to everybody too that contributes to the community that has
good intentions, that is always there when I go live. Shout out to all the writers getting it in, bro, practicing their craft, showing up, getting in their flow state, making stuff happen, sending everybody some good energy, some prosperous energy, because we them writers up next, baby. So y'all can find me on YouTube at Letras Worldwide. And if you guys want to cop some merch, you guys could go to www.letrasworldwide.com. And those are my two sites right there.
And for any of those that might be new into the graph scene, or just art in general, I would say definitely check out his page.